It doesn't take much to be happy. For me, the recipe is simple. Enjoying the natural landscape, a secure home, a loving family to come home to. That all comes pretty close. But all that can be undermined so quickly. All it takes is for us to lose the freedom to make our own decisions, and suddenly our lives are thrown upside down.
Hello, how's it going? Very good, thank you.
That was certainly the experience of Ahmed Zaoui. Ahmed is a scholar, a poet, a family man. But standing for election in Algeria 20 years ago triggered a series of events that turned him into a suspected terrorist and a refugee. When he first arrived in New Zealand, his already lengthy experience of persecution was compounded by a simple misunderstanding.
When I arrived to New Zealand, I was very pleased, happy, because I feel that I saved myself, and I was thinking about bringing my family. I remember in this time I met a policeman, and he said to me, "Welcome." And I was very happy that someone who persecuted me in Algeria, in my country, to say welcome. And then he asked some questions, and he said to me, "Are you from GIA?" I said, FIS. In this time, my English was very poor. When I said FIS, he think that I said to him, yes.
So he thought that you were saying you were a member of the GIA, which is a terrorist organization.
Yeah.
So as a result of that interview in part, you suddenly, quite quickly, found yourself taken to Paremaruma prison.
Yeah. No one explained me why, what is your accusation, for what, and in solitary confinement.
For 10 months?
Yeah, for 10 months.
Mm-hmm. So you had come hoping to be received as an asylum seeker, effectively a refugee, and in fact a security risk certificate was issued for you.
It's, that's life.
Well,
that's what I can say.
Well, you can say that now, yeah.
Yeah, you should expect everything in life. Life is not easy for anyone.
You, of course, are Algerian, and you come from a family that has quite a strong spiritual tradition. Your grandfather was a Sufi?
Sufi, it's like a sect in Islam. It's like a mystical
tradition.
Yeah. The Sufi, they preserve a lot of culture, especially in the time of colonialism, when French tried to ban the Arabic language and tried to persecute people. My father also was an imam. You can say it's like a priest. The imam just leading prayer and can give advice, what we call the fatwa. And this advice is not obligatory.
Right.
If you are not happy with this advice, you can go to another imam
to give you
get
better advice.
Yeah.
So there's no hierarchical authority.
No. In my childhood, I used to go to the Quranic school as any Algerian to learn the alphabetic and some Quranic verses. And the school can say it's secular.
So it's like New Zealand in that regard, that the school system itself is secular.
Yes, similar, yeah.
But you could go and learn your religious understandings from the Sunday school or the church or whatever.
Yeah.
But you went to university in Saudi Arabia.
Yep. My father was keen to send to me to study religion. In this time in Algeria, some people can't understand the context in our country. The most of people is Muslim. We have a tiny minority of Christian and Jewish. But in this time in 80s, we haven't any school who teach the religion.
So the government after the French left, which was 1962.
It's 1962, yeah.
Was a one-party socialist, secular, almost evangelically secular state.
Yeah.
And didn't leave any room for religious education.
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah.
So you went to Saudi, where you could study Islamic teaching in particular, or religion more generally.
It's religion in general.
So you learned about the diversity of different understandings.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. And then came back to Algeria, and what did you do then for a living?
I enrolled in University of Algiers to finish my master. After 1 year, I became like a teacher in university.
Okay. You were married at a reasonably young age?
24.
24?
Yeah, when I was studying in Saudi Arabia.
How did you meet your wife?
Maybe the context is different today. In Algeria, most of people, it's through the family.
Okay.
And this time, things now get changed with the internet, with
Yes.
with everything here. But we are happy in our life, in our marriage.
Yeah, and you have 4 children?
I have four kids, yeah.
Yeah.
اسمح لي كلمتك ويمكن قطع.
Towards the end of the 80s in Algeria, it had been a one-party government and it was coming under pressure to actually have some free elections.
Yep.
You were approached to stand for one of the parties, the FIS.
Yeah.
Tell me about the FIS.
It's an Islamic party which tried to change the life of people, because a lot of corruption in our country, you know, third world. It's closed from the world. We don't know what's happening in the world like today. And I recognize that all parties, included my party, made mistakes. And, you know, power is still power. Even
Yes.
Yeah, power is still power.
Power still corrupts,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah, still corrupt.
It was the people who pushed him to become a candidate for the party. He didn't want anything to do with it. He was more interested in religion and being an imam.
I was reluctant because it's political compromise, and always my nature is to make people together and to, yeah.
To seek dialogue.
Yeah, but I'm not. It's not excuse about when I choose, but this life. That's what I.
The FIS, when you say it's an Islamic party, in the context post 9/11, that sounds militant.
Yeah, it's hard to. Yeah, we should be objective about what was happening in my country, what's happening now in our countries, in Muslim countries. It's very difficult situation, and very difficult to understand the context.
The election was held, and actually your party, the FIS, did very well.
Yeah, won the election with the majority.
So the government of the day, because they lost, set the results aside.
Included the emergency state. The police can do everything.
You yourself, and I imagine lots and lots of other people who were involved with the FIS, were then interrogated?
Yeah, a lot of people, including my dad, deported to a camp where French used to make the atomic tests for 5 months. Yeah, more than 40,000 people have been arrested in such a camp.
Was there a reaction to this coup by the government?
That's the beginning of the civil war in Algeria.
Yep.
And a lot of people came from Afghanistan and start to organize themselves. And the Algerian government as well organized some terrorist group, and they create like a bad atmosphere.
After about a year, you decided that you needed to leave the country. Why was that necessary?
It was necessary to save my life, to save my family. Even my family was, some of members of my family was arrested. My wife was watched by the regime.
And that began a long process for you of effectively time in exile from Algeria.
Sure.
Yeah. You went all over Europe, really.
Yeah.